All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wake Local Reentry Council meeting. Today is June 24th. I am Lenarda Williamson, your coordinator for Wake LRC. We're excited to be with you all today. And someone just let me know if we're not showing the right screen. Can you guys see my presentation screen here?
Yep, we sure can.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right. So before we get started, we'll ask everyone to put your name, email, and the agency you represent in the chat box. And while you are doing that, just a quick reminder that the meeting is being recorded. And for those who are joining us by phone, if you want to manage the mute and unmute options, you'll select star and the number 6. And if you want to join the conversation by raising your hand, you'll select the star and the number 9. All right. So now we're going to go ahead on and look at the agenda. All right. So today we are going to look at some new resource tools that we have created for you all, and we're going to have a partner spotlight, and we'll share some reentry program updates. We'll talk about service delivery. We'll hear an update from Allison Jordan from the North Carolina Department of Public Safety. We'll hear an update from Ayana Robinson from Legal Aid. We'll have a presentation from Verna Best and Bielka Gabrielle on mindset. We'll have an update from Dennis Gaddy on our Second Chance Alliance Act. We'll hear from our subcommittee chairs, co-chairs, and vice chair. We'll have an opportunity for you all to share your announcements, and we'll discuss next steps.
I have to stop you for a second, Lenarda.
Uh-huh.
I didn't realize for some reason I didn't have the people coming in on my screen, and
okay.
I just found it and found out there's a lot of people were waiting to come in, and I've just admitted them all, but I apologize.
Okay. Okay. You think I should go back over that?
Yeah, I think so, but wait a second, because it's slowly
okay. Yeah.
In.
Give them a minute to get in.
Right.
Cool. All right.
And for those who are joining, I am so sorry. I don't know why. I went to look to see if there were people waiting, and it for some reason wasn't coming up on my screen. But I
no worries.
I think they're coming in. Yeah, usually like it just shows up and said, "Hey, will you let this person in?" And
yeah.
The one time I'm supposed to do it, it doesn't do that.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Norman. It's good to see you.
I have a question.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Natalie.
Oh.
Norman, you had a question you wanted to go ahead and ask while we're waiting to let people in.
Sure, just real quick. Do you guys have available rooms down in your facility for classes, like a classroom?
Oh, you know what? I think we'll probably have to get back with you on that. I think that's something Natalie and Melinda will probably be able to best answer, and probably not on the spot. So I'll ask them to follow up with you after the meeting. Is that all right?
Sure, please do.
Perfect. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Okay, I think everyone who's waiting has now joined.
Okay.
Again, I am so sorry.
No worries.
I'm more apologizing for the people who were sitting there waiting to be let in.
Well, thank you guys for being patient.
Yeah,
happy Thursday. It's good to see you. Welcome to the Wake Local Reentry Council meeting. I am Lenarda Williamson, your Wake LRC coordinator. And just as a reminder, before we start today's meeting, we'll ask you to go ahead and take a minute and put your name, your email, and the agency you represent in the chat box. This helps us to get the attendance, as well as just to kind of exchange information as we facilitate the conversation. So thank you. Take a minute to do that. And for those of you who are joining by phone, if you want to manage the mute and unmute options, you'll just select star and the number 6. If you want to manage the raise your hand feature, you'll select star and the number 9. All right, so we'll go ahead and look at the agenda. So today we are going to share some new media tools that we have for you all. Hopefully you'll be excited to see what they are. We'll hear an update from our reentry program, capital area reentry program updates. We'll also hear, we'll recognize our partner spotlight for this period. You'll hear reentry service activity delivery update. You'll hear from Allison Jordan from the NC Department of Public Safety, updates there. You'll hear from Ayanna Robinson of Legal Aid. We'll have a special presentation from our partners at Wake County. That's Verna Best and Bielka Gabrielle. You'll hear an update from Dennis Gaddy on the Second Chance Act Alliance. We'll hear from our subcommittee chairs, co-chair and vice chair regarding the reports and the work that they've been doing in the groups. We'll have an opportunity for you to share your announcements and any events that you want us to participate in, and then we'll discuss next steps. Do you guys have any questions? All right, so we'll move on. All right, so I mentioned new media resources and tools. So you see we have a new YouTube channel. Hopefully you guys have had an opportunity to look at that. That link is out there. I've sent it, and what I'll do is share it again. I won't go to it right now because what I'd like to do is also take a few minutes for us to look at a video that talks about capital area reentry programs. So if you'll just give me a minute, I'm going to stop sharing. And I'm going to go to this page where you can see it. Give me 1 second. Can you all see and hear the video?
It's funny that, you know, people will look at me and say, gosh, you don't look like you are a criminal or you've ever been to prison, but we all make mistakes and we all fall short.
No, pretty bad background. I've been getting in trouble since I was 16. I'm now 49.
These clothes, when I got out, I had nothing. Absolutely nothing except for what I wore home.
My resident was my mom's house. I had a family member who was living there, but she was on drugs, so everything that I ever owned was gone.
I had just got out of prison after doing 8 years and wanted to change my life, wanted to change everything about everything.
I never had a bank account. I never had credit.
When I was getting out, I had no self-esteem. Okay. When I got out, I was homeless. Like I said, I didn't have no clothes.
I didn't understand, I didn't know how to create a resume because I never had a job. I had jobs, but a job at Bojangles or a bar, you know what I'm saying, when I was 15 or, I'm 49. So there was a big gap.
We're in the work of bridging gaps and finding solutions. The Wake Local Reentry Council is a partnership network. We provide supportive services to individuals that are transitioning from incarceration back into their communities. We have a team of passionate case managers, career coaches, and everyone. It's not really work for us. It's more of a passion.
It's something you hear a lot in kind of social service industries, right? People just need to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, right? And we've been doing this kind of work long enough to know not everybody gets boots, right?
There are some people who don't have any family support, and so they just need a listening ear. There are people who, they may not even be able to read. They don't even know. They may have done like 30 years, and they don't know what a smartphone is.
To me, I think one of the biggest opportunities that we offer folks is the access to training. The financial barriers that are put in place for folks who are just coming home to access some sort of training or education that would lead to a career can be a giant burden, right? So I think that is a a very big piece of what we do.
So the first things I like to do is take a look at their resume. What are they looking for? Or what did you do while you were incarcerated? Did you work in the kitchen? Did you work on the yard? All of those skills are very important, and they can still be used and transferred once they're released.
We partner with a variety of programs, a variety of service providers that would actually be able to train folks in things that they're passionate about. Really with an emphasis in areas where their criminal record's not going to keep them from finding employment.
They had the resources. They had what I couldn't, it's impossible for me to have that being gone for as long as I've been gone.
Some of the other barriers that a lot of people face, not just with a job, because if you get a job but you don't have housing or you don't have transportation, what's the point of having a job? And so the other additional needs are the housing, the transportation, the support system, somebody who will listen to me, somebody who I could just talk to and share. And so those are some of the significant barriers besides getting a job that people come here for.
You know, when you get to the point where you know you're messing up and you know what's going to happen. You know, it's just scary. But with NC Works, they've helped me get glasses. They've helped me get back to my mental health medications that I need. They've helped me with Dress for Success, a career coach, clothes.
Greg, you know, step by step, put in the work to try to help me get a job, help me with my application, help me with my resume, help me, you know what I'm saying, getting back and forth here to, you know what I'm saying, just to get to them, help me with my clothes to get to work, help me with, you know, shoes and stuff for the interview. I'm talking about they help me with, you know what I'm saying, with everything.
Absolutely free. It doesn't cost anything. You know, they'll help you get clothing and help you get a job and help you, you know, be able to take the classes to get your job and pay for that. It's awesome. It's just a wonderful experience.
And I just love Miss Donna. It's like she's my friend, you know, not just somebody that's here. She's got a 9-to-5 job. She, you know, if she gets it done, she gets it done. But Miss Donna's not like that. She really has concern and passion, you know, for us. She doesn't look down on me, you know. She wants to help me better myself.
Without Reentry, there's no way that I could have made it here in Wake County. God has just opened so many doors, and He's put the right people in my life to just direct me in the right paths.
If you believe that, you know what I'm saying, if you make the changes, if you put in the work and make the changes, and you know what I'm saying, you believe in the process, well, you just, you know what I'm saying, take a leap of faith in the process, things gonna change. Because if you do something different, you're gonna get a different result.
There's a group of people who are waiting for you on the other side, and that you don't have to do this alone.
The time will come when you want to be able to get back into your community. And that's where we want to help. Let us help you reach your immediate needs and plan for your long-term goals.
All right. So what I didn't say was that the purpose of creating this video was it's a component of us expanding our reach to the correctional facilities. So we use this tool. I think I'm still, sorry about that. We use this tool to share, there's another version, I'll say there's a version of this tool, this video with closed captions. And so this video is shared in the correctional facilities during meal times to the residents so they know that Wake LRC is here. And so you heard from Shamar and Lisa and Kathy about the value that the services that we, as in you all, you know, the clothing that we had bringing through this collaborative. So we encourage you all to share this if there are individuals that are interested in receiving services from Wake LRC. And we thought it was important for you all to know as well what your contributions do. And let me go back to the YouTube page. The purpose of that page is so you guys can have a quick access to recent meetings. So you can go back as far as December of 2020 and look at the videos. And that's going to be each council meeting and each subcommittee meeting video is there on our YouTube page. So we encourage you all to please subscribe to that page. All right, so now I'm going to turn it over to my colleague. It's either going to be Natalie Mabon or Melinda Todd.
Good afternoon, everyone. I don't know if you can hear me.
We can hear you.
I'm having technical difficulties, so I'm using a phone and a laptop. But I just wanted to say good afternoon and to welcome you guys back. It's so good to see everyone. I did see you for a little bit before my computer decided to retire. But this is my favorite part of the meeting, one of my favorite parts anyway, because this council is comprised of so many different partners from different parts of this work, and you're all so very busy moving the agenda forward to help the men and women returning to our county. We decided some time ago that we wanted to start our meetings off with shining the light on one of the partners that has given us a little bit extra, but really has put in a valued effort since our last meeting to help us accomplish something bigger than we thought. And today, I need you guys to help me. So I'm going to tell you drum roll. When I say drum roll, I want you guys to do a drum roll. But today, we want to highlight the efforts of, drum roll, please. I don't hear no drum roll.
How do you do a drum roll?
You guys can't do a drum roll? Oh my goodness. I can't see, but the person we want to highlight is Eric Johnson. Eric Johnson works with Alliance Health Community. He is the Community Health Relations Manager. And I just have to say that, you know, our clients deal with many barriers that come up that can impact a successful reentry. And our clients, you know, often experience many different dynamics that can even complicate the journey further. But Eric's efforts have really helped us to look at our policies and procedures and evaluate how best to serve high needs participants. He's more specifically helped us by connecting us with the network of care administrators so that we can extend our reach and be more visible in the community. He's also helped us develop the medical service provider list through his work on the support services subcommittee. And he's also recruited a new council member, George Miller, with the Lemonade Project. So I just want to say to Eric, and I certainly hope that everyone else on this call joins us, thank you for your efforts. Thank you for the above and beyond, and thank you for strengthening our network. The last piece of my segment is really just to give a brief update on what things we're working on, what reentry initiatives. And you'll see on the agenda that we recently presented to the Wake County Commissioners, specifically the Public Safety Committee. And that presentation was to really talk about what efforts the council was doing to meet the needs of men and women returning to Wake County, to talk about what best practice and to talk about what changes, implementations we would like to make in order to improve our reach, to have a more comprehensive program of services. And so through that presentation, they've asked us to really give them a more detailed outline of what we'd like to see and what we need. But I'm proud of your county commissioners in that they really support the work that you're doing. They support what we're doing, and they want to see us reach more people. And so we will continue working with them to garner their support and and resources to help us do more. When we know a little bit more, when we have something more concrete, we will share that with you. But we're always looking for opportunities to expand our capacity. And so we will continue to do that with the help of our Strategic Initiatives Director, Melinda Todd. And if I've left anything out, Melinda, please feel free to add that. I really am operating with a handicap, not being able to see you guys, though, but
Yeah.
now I understand a little bit better.
Well, I think most people have their cameras off anyway, because I think the connection is not great for everyone. The only thing I would add is I
Oh,
just
okay.
really
Well, I'm
want
glad it's not just me.
yeah. I just wanted to thank our committee chairs actually attended that meeting. Of course, it was virtual, and we really appreciated their support and their participation in that. I think it showed that there was, organizations and commitments throughout the council to what we were presenting. So I also want to thank for them for their support.
Thank you for that, Melinda, because that is very important. All right, so I'm going to turn it back over to you, Lenarda.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And yes, thank you to our committee members and our partners for supporting those efforts. All right. So I'm going to share my screen again. Service delivery updates. As you can see, we've served 174 individuals since February of last year. And you can see where our greatest needs are, or activities are, service needs are. And they're in the area of, supplying food, toiletry, and that's the basic needs area, providing gift cards for cell phones and work supplies and things such as that. You can see there's housing is always going to be a area, a high needs area as well. So, all right. So on behalf of my colleague who's not here today, Miss Donna Farrar, we'd like to share a success story. This is about Mr. C. Mr. C served a life sentence. He was incarcerated at the age of 18. He did 28 years. He was released earlier this year with a mindset to succeed, and he had the grit to match it. Today, Mr. C is doing well. He's got his driver's license. His family assisted him in getting a car, and he's living in one of our transitional housing partner homes. He is working a job that he absolutely enjoys, earning $18 an hour. That's really important because we want to make sure that our incomes are, there's some incomes or their salaries that people can have a sustainable lifestyle. So Mr. C is feeling good about his accomplishments, and he's looking forward to the road ahead. So congratulations to Mr. C. All right, so next we have an update from Miss Allison Jordan from North Carolina Department of Public Safety. Allison, you there?
Yes, I am. I just put my camera on, but
okay.
I don't know if you can see me.
I can see you, and I'm going to stop sharing so we can see your face.
Oh, okay. Thanks, I guess. Might be better to have a blank. So as she said, I'm with Reentry Services with NC State government, and we are the funding source for the LRCs across the state and kind of the partner that we help them develop and hopefully move forward and all that happens. So I just want to let you know that Wake County, along with all the other LRCs across the state, were trained with the new SOP manual. And this was real important. It was a big project that we really wanted to get accomplished this year under COVID conditions. We did it while virtual meetings. But it was real important that such things like financial, what we will reimburse for and not reimburse for, and case management, and what type of things to put, what type of information do we need to put in our case management tool. The tool is still, I think, coming. That's not my, not my job, but I hear updates, and so hopefully that's still going to happen. with state government, things sometimes move very slow, especially if we're purchasing something very large. But this SOP was real important to have because we did some audits, probably you lose time on the COVID, but it was last summer, or I know Wake County's was probably last summer. And we had just some suggestions to try to everybody come in under the same pot. And we realized that there were different things going on. We want everybody to be individual, but at the same time, there's certain things that have to be under policy or under a manual, such as how we will reimburse, different things that we are allowed to reimburse and not allowed to reimburse. So we did the training, and we also realized probably in the last month or two, maybe last month, that a new audit team is coming in, and they're going to actually be positioned in our office. And these people probably won't know a lot about the local reentry centers, but they will be trained in how to do audits and what they're going to be going in to see. And I think they're going to start with the LRCs from what we've been told. They will go around to the LRCs, they'll take the manual, and they'll just make sure that that things are, you know, moving forward. They may make some suggestions. This is not to close anyone down. This is not to stop funding. This is just to make sure that everyone is on the same page. I don't know much about it. These people, as far as I know, have not been hired, or while I was in the office on Monday, I didn't see anybody new. And as that comes about, and I'm hoping maybe we, like if they come into Wake County or they come into one of my counties, that I'm at least there to assist or advise or let them know. So as soon as I find out more about that, I will let y'all know. But that's probably about what we did last summer, guys. So don't get all nervous. But it's just to make suggestions that this is fantastic. You're doing this. Maybe you could alter this slightly. So we'll see. The your staff also, along with all the other LRCs across the state, were trained in PREA. And if you don't know what PREA is, it's Prison Rape Elimination Act. And it's mandatory that every year, anyone that's dealing with any of the people in the prison, the offenders, people out on the street, that they have this training. It's mandated federally. So everybody was trained. If you have staff that were not, please let me know. But if you're dealing with, right now the prisons are not open, but when you do, you have to have this training. But if you're dealing with even people coming in the office, you have to have this training. So if you have it, let me know and I'll get you on the next list. I guess some good news is the Durham Hotel has closed. And there was one up in Swananoa Prison. It was Black Mountain. It's closed also. So we're no longer using those as a COVID transition housing. And I did want to mention that I love these meetings because I love that y'all recognize your partners. I love that you tell the good things that are happening and the great things these people and these organizations and these partners are doing with you and to help you and to help the people that need the services. That's I think it's my favorite time of the meeting also. So I'm here if you have any questions. Just let me know.
Thank you, Allison. And just for clarity, you said you extended the opportunity for individuals who need the PREA training. Should I share your information with them, or how would you like that?
Email me if there's someone that works like in the group that may have missed the virtual. I'm sure there were some that did. And I can get that to our trainer.
Okay. You guys got that? So if you need the PREA training that Allison mentioned, please send the request directly to me and I'll get that to Allison. Thank you very much, Allison. And we appreciate you being here. So that's very important for us as well.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
I'll mute myself now.
All right. So next up on the agenda, we have a presentation from Legal Aid. I didn't see Ayana, but is Daniel on the call?
Yeah, I'm here, Leonardo.
Okay, all right, Daniel. I got your pretty screen now. I'm gonna stop sharing so we can see your face as well.
So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Daniel Kale. I work with the legal aid expunction team. I'm sitting in on the meeting on behalf of Ayanna Robinson, who's fortunately on vacation at the beach, enjoying some nice weather. But like Allison said, it's nice being here with so many folks that share the same goal. And I don't have a lot for y'all today. I wanted to mention that we've been giving a monthly expunction clinic presentation at the NC Works Career Center. We've been, seeing that each month it seems like registration for that presentation is overflowing to the next month, but we're hoping that as restrictions related to COVID ease up, we'll be able to increase volume at that presentation. Furthermore, we've generally just been seeing increased volume from individuals seeking to utilize the Second Chance Act and benefit from the increased eligibility that they have under that act for expunctions. And I think Dennis Gaddy is giving a presentation on that, or an update on that later in this meeting. So I won't speak too much on that, but that's really all I had for y'all today. And we would like to mention that if there are any community partners that would, like to work with the expunction team to give a similar presentation, we're happy to speak with you about that. And I put my email in the chat earlier, but I'm going to put it here again so that everybody has it. Feel free to email me or Ayanna, and I'll also include her email there.
Thank you, Daniel. And we'll make sure that we get that information and that included in the meeting summary for the action steps for next steps. Thank you very much. And to your point with regards to the expungement clinic, yes, we have increased. There's been such participation interest. We have expanded our from 12 attendees to 20. So we're using 2 rooms now. We're also, of course, we're being mindful of COVID. And so we do have the social distancing, but starting next month in July 1st, which is when we have the next expungement clinic, we're opening it up to 20 individuals. And again, that's using double rooms in the NC Works Career Center. Thank you very much. All right. We're going to move on. And so now we have a special presentation from our partners at Wake County. The mindset presentation, Ms. Verna Best and Ms. Bielka Gabrielle. And I have made you both co-hosts, so I'll let you take it over from here, Verna and Bielka.
Uh-oh. Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I see that Bielka is on. I'm not sure that she'll be able to talk, so I'm going to do just a little bit of introduction, and then she's shaking her head. It's looking like she may not be able to talk. So I am going to go on and share my screen and get us started. What are you all seeing? Because a lot of times what I see and what you see may be different. So I want to make sure that that you're seeing the slides.
We see the slides, but it's not in presentation mode yet.
Okay. What is happening now?
Now it's in presentation mode. Perfect.
Okay, thank you. So just to give you a little bit of information, I'm going to skip the first slide. But for those of you who do not know, the mindset component is a component of social and economic vitality. I thought it would be important for me to give you just a little bit of the framework before I actually go into what the mindset program is. So about 4 years ago, as one of the county commissioners priorities, they started something called Social and Economic Vitality. And basically what this is a collaborative multi-tiered initiative designed to eliminate intergenerational poverty in Southeast Raleigh and in the eastern part of Wake County. And what we know based on gentrification and the way people are moving around, the concentrations of people that were once in the Southeast Raleigh area and the eastern Wake County area may not be the same. So we have a target, or we prioritize those two geographic areas in the county. However, we will serve anyone who is desiring the services that we have to provide. We make a special emphasis on our values that you see at the top of the screen. And one of those is to provide fair, just, and impartial service delivery without bias to all of the families that we are serving. And so social and economic vitality came into fruition because in those two geographic areas, there were higher concentrations of people living in poverty, low education earners, vacant housing units. What were the other two? I do it every time, I forget the other two. But anyway, it was low education earners, low wage earners, people living in poverty, vacant housing units, and people who were age dependent. Those were the vulnerability factors that were most highly concentrated in Southeast Raleigh as well as in the eastern part of the county. And so we started this quest to determine how we would address those issues. And one of the main things that we decided was that we did not want this to be your everyday run-of-the-mill government program. Everything that we wanted to do it by, with, and through the community. So everything that we've done has been co-designed pretty much with community residents as well as community partners. We settled on a framework that had 4 different tiers. I'm going to do them in reverse order so that I can get to the mindset piece. Those 4 tiers included thriving communities, so developing anchor assets in our community where people could gather for education, for social events, for meetings, for all of the kinds of things that people need in order to develop community. We looked at thriving businesses and how we could support entrepreneurs particularly along with small and minority businesses. So we've done like innovation challenges. We've done an empowering entrepreneurs and seeding innovation challenge. So we've done a few different things in that space. We now have a Black Business Collective that we're launching, but I'm not going to talk about those because that's not the important focus of today. We also have worked with grassroots nonprofit organizations trying to build their capacity through a grassroots nonprofit leadership academy. We're currently combining some efforts with businesses and organizations. We're looking at developing a collaborative and cooperatively owned co-working space in the Southeast Raleigh area in particular. The 4th part of the framework was, my slides are jumping. The 4th part of the framework was thriving families. So thriving everything, thriving families, thriving organizations, thriving businesses, and thriving communities. And under thriving families, this is where we get our mindset program, which actually predates social and economic vitality coming into fruition. Mindset was formerly Middle Class Express. And this is a life coaching program that was started in 2008 that has become a part of the framework for social and economic vitality. So let's talk a little bit about what mindset is. I think before I do that, I'm going to try to share this brief video, which talks about human capital development, which also relates to life coaching. I'm going to try to share. Let me know if you do not hear the sound. Hold one moment. Watch it now. Play. Let's see. Share sound.
That an individual brings to a task at hand.
There is a repository of skills, of health, which can be used for economic activities, but more generally for realization of the potential of an individual.
Human capital is, of course, the capital that's in human beings instead of just machines and things like that.
And it's their knowledge, their training, their skills, their life experience, their physical strength, their emotional strength, their overall health.
People have traditionally focused on a very narrow understanding of human capital, thinking about education and in particular schooling within formal contexts.
Any skills or knowledge that makes people more productive.
So human capital for me is really the ability to take control of your life.
A more empowered life, the ability to read and write, increase political participation, more knowledge for women. More and more the profession moves towards not thinking about development in this narrow sense of just per capita growth rates of income, but something that improves quality of life.
Human capital itself can be considered an indicator or a measure of development.
There is a clear relationship between education and the income and the future of the households and the individuals.
With better health and education, people can be more productive. They can then become wealthier. They can contribute to society.
It drives growth, but also as countries grow, people learn, people become healthier, and so growth itself produces more human capital.
The more educated people are, the easier for them it is to produce more and to come up with inventions and to increase the amount of resources available for everybody around.
People in developing countries, they know best what they need to make their lives better, and increasing their human capital will actually help them help themselves.
It's very important to try to understand which institutions, both formal and informal institutions, matter.
We don't totally understand how to increase individuals' human capital, and we also don't always understand the interaction between people's human capital.
So to understand human capital is not only to understand, how humans have evolved, but also how humans can translate the knowledge that they have, which has been accumulated over centuries, into progress, both economic and as individuals.
Berna, I think this is the wrong version of the presentation. We need to probably go back to slide mode. I mean, presentation mode.
Am I back?
You're up. Now we're good to go. Perfect.
Okay. That's always difficult for me to navigate. So as you listen to the presentation on human capital development, life coaching is a way that we can invest in human capital development. I think one of the strongest things that came out of that actual clip is when it talks about the family knowing what they need and their ownership in the process of building their human capital development. And so you will see, and I'm not going to read these slides to you, through the life coaching program, we are trying to make an investment in the human capital development of all of the families that we are serving. One of the main things that happens with mindset life coaching is the development of a life plan that helps residents and participants to navigate the social determinants of health. And so there are 8 tracks that families go through that they participate, all of which hinge on developing a strong mindset, whether it's in the area of employment, whether it's in finances, whether it's in housing, like all of the different things. The tracks always build in mindset, financial management, attitude. All of those things play a very, very big role in the success of the program. So mindset is actually a 10-week trauma-informed group life coaching experience. And you can see there some of the things that I've already mentioned. So education, employment, civic engagement, all of these things, participants are encouraged to develop SMART goals as part of their life plan so that they can actually increase their upward mobility. What participants actually gain, we've had participants to gain a number of things, and Vioka could certainly tell you about the successes of the program because she's been the heart and soul of that. But what we do know is that we see families that don't just achieve a middle-class lifestyle. We've seen families go far beyond that. Through the life coaching, families are able to develop life plans where they actually are able to acquire housing. They increase their upward mobility through employment. They end up having better family relations. They end up being more engaged in the community. I remember Vioka being very excited. We actually have had a participant to end up running for an office. So this program is really all about working with the families developing their life plan, reaching their own desired level of self-sufficiency. We don't put them in a box and tell them these are the things that they must do. It is very much led through them in conjunction with their life coaching, in conjunction with the camaraderie that they have from the group coaching experience. And then there are some individual referrals and things that happen for the families that are participating. So again, in summary, mindset helps to build and maintain a positive mindset to overcome life challenges. They develop a life plan. They make connections to resources. They end up strengthening relationships with community members, and they gain access to additional coaching far beyond the first 10 weeks. It's been very clear to us that once people have participated in the life coaching experience, they don't just stop after the 10 weeks. Some participants, I went back and saw a video today from the inception of this program, which started in 2008. And some of those families, even though they have reached their initial goals, they continue to journey with us because the minds are ever expanding and they're able to just plan forward what those next steps are for them. Many of them no longer live in poverty, which is absolutely one of the goals, that people increase their upward mobility. So it's kind of what you put in is what you get out. We also are very, very, very appreciative for all of the partnerships that we have. We have a list of those partners, and this list is not all inclusive, but you can see that we do not do this work alone. I think one of the other presenters talked about how partners are recognized. We absolutely realize that none of the work would be possible that we're doing with life coaching without being able to connect families to the resources to support the actual fulfillment of that life plan. And so you can see some of the partners that we've worked with here. Families are encouraged to dream when they are participating in the life coaching process, because we believe through their efforts and through the support that they receive with life coaching, they are actually able to make those dreams become a reality. But we know when you're dreaming, you still have to set specific goals and you have to set specific action steps in order to put those goals into motion. So again, what you put in is what you're gonna get out. Once the 10 weeks is done, as we mentioned, there are the monthly group coaching sessions that take place to again support the fulfillment of that life plan and to continue that camaraderie and to continue that accountability for families to continue taking the steps that they need to take in order to reach their goals. What are next steps? That's something that if we have time, we can talk about. I know that Mindset, or formerly MCE, has been very, very supportive of reentry efforts as it relates to either assisting with resource fairs and things of that nature. We certainly want to continue those kinds of relationships and partner so that we can support the families who are reentering. And that's about it, I think, unless there are some specific questions. And again, I know Vioka is not able to talk too much, but Vioka, if there's something that you want to jump on quickly and add, I'm certainly welcome to yield to you for you to be able to do that. She popped on and she popped back off. So does anyone have any questions while she may be trying to get to a location while she can talk?
I have a question, Verna. It's Lenarda. I'm gonna turn my camera back on. How do we connect with? How do our participants connect with you with the Mindset program?
Yeah, so we do have. I'm going to put it in the chat. I will put in the chat because I don't remember it right off the top of my head. I will give you my email or Vioka's email, but we actually set up a site so that people could go to that link to be able to connect. So I'll put that in the chat for you.
Thank you.
Vioka, are you trying to talk? She is.
Just wanted to say, Verna, I love you guys. Thank you. We got an amazing team. Everybody's laughing at me because I'm here at this event. And I was like, no matter what, we're going to support each other. Lenarda, thank you so much. Working with you guys has always been amazing. And whatever questions, please put in the chat. I'll try to help Verna answer. But I needed to come off and I needed to find a spot to tell Verna and Lenarda thank you, because literally the lady is sitting next to us and they were just talking about reentry. Total stranger, don't know her from anywhere. And they were just talking about how hard people were having it, you know, coming back from being incarcerated. And I turned the camera and was showing her the slides. And Nikki, Lenarda, I gave her your number.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you, Verna. Thank you, Bielka. Are there any other questions for Verna or Bielka regarding the Mindset program?
Thank you for this space to share this information, and I'll put some additional connection information in the chat for you.
Excellent. And just want to
Lenarda, real quick, Vernon, I'm sorry, I missed this if you did add. Lenarda, we're going to send something out if any of the partners want to learn more. We're going to have graduation on the 13th, and it's open to folks to come. I apologize, I was supposed to send it to you before I told you here, but it's for our participants that's from this year, who's gone through their 10 weeks to connect to different resources. And we do have some folks that I believe the services that you guys offer and some of the partners, things that they offer would be a benefit to them. But we'll get that out to you.
Excellent. And just want to reiterate, this program is championed by one of our county commissioners. At least I know of one. It's probably more than one. And, you know, Wake LRC supports the efforts of moving people out of poverty, as Verna said. So thank you very much. All right. So next we have updates from my Second Chance Alliance representative, Mr. Dennis Gaddy, the Executive Director of Community Success Initiatives. Dennis, you there?
I am. Thank you, Lenarda, and good afternoon, friends and advocates and Second Chance people. I currently serve as Executive Director, as Lenarda said, of Community Success Initiative, which is a 17-year-old nonprofit now. Believe it or not, time goes by quickly. And our whole purpose is to create wraparound networks and policy change for men and women who find themselves entangled in the criminal justice system. I didn't wake up one morning and say, you know, I have nothing else to do 17 years ago. I think I'll start a nonprofit working with people coming out of prison. Because of some poor choices I made along the way after school and law school and college, I ended up spending 5.5 years in the North Carolina Department of Corrections because of those poor choices. Had the great fortune to have a support network of friends and family and daughters and cousins and pastors and all who you could think of to kind of create a wraparound support network around me. So allowed me to kind of get up and going pretty quickly with regard to finding and founding Community Success Initiative. I see a lot of people on the screen today who was part of those early days. Hey, Betty Murchison. Hey, Stephanie Treadway. I see you. Obviously, Bielka and Melinda, and Diana Powell, and oh my God, who was part of that journey with us 17 years ago and kind of watched us kind of grow up in this business. But that's like I said, 17 years ago. Jack and I have been married 38 years now. We have 2 adult children. We call them, they're still our children, but Ashley and April, and have our first grandson that came along in February. So we're proud of him. So as part of my work, I'm one of the founding directors of the Second Chance Alliance, which really is a statewide alliance of people with criminal records, their family members, service providers, congregations, community leaders, and concerned citizens who come together to address the causes of criminal records and the barriers they create to successful reentry. And what we were talking about when we had our lobby day this year, of course, it was virtual, and I'll give you the information on how to get access to that when I finish today, is that we talked about how we can address our policy change issues with regard to talking to our legislatures around what we think are our needs. So I want to kind of go over that list with you of the things, and I guess our demands that we talked about doing our virtual lobby day this year. It was the 18th of May, and there's a video that is available on YouTube that I can give you access to that will share that whole day. It was about an hour and 10 minutes when it actually came to time on the YouTube, but it was a pretty powerful day. We were in front of about 4,500 people that day who shared with us on our YouTube screen. So some of the things that we talked about, obviously you've heard about the Second Chance Act that was passed last June and signed into law by Governor Cooper on the 25th of June of last year. And it allowed us to be able to expand expungements. And just briefly, what that is doing is allowing people that with unlimited misdemeanors, all being nonviolent, after a 7-year period of time can be expunged. That's the misdemeanors side of things. Now, when it comes to felonies, there's just one felony at this time that can be expunged after 10 years. So we're working on expanding that. And as a matter of fact, that'll be part of what we will discuss have discussed with regarding our demands for the upcoming legislative process. So again, unlimited misdemeanors are expungible after 7 years, and one felony can be expunged after 10 years. That's the current state of things, and was brought on by the new Second Chance Act last year. It went into effect December the 1st. Some of the other things that we're proposing is in response to the SNAP felony ban. Of course, most of you know that in North Carolina, Wake County, that if a person has a felony, that he is not eligible to get food stamps. I still cannot understand that one. But we are proposing that ban completely stops, and that we are opted out of the felony ban for SNAP benefits for individuals who are convicted of felony drug charges. So that's one of our demands, is that the SNAP ban be eliminated. In the case of excessive fees and fines related to criminal justice debt, the North Carolina court system should not be funded on the backs of those with the least ability to pay. Fair court policy should reduce or eliminate court costs, fines, fees, and penalties at all levels of the court system, and include reduction or elimination of jail and probation fees. One of the things we've had a real success with our day-to-day work now over the state of North Carolina is to bring to the attention of the DA's offices across the state that there are people who have fees and fines, and those fees and fines are the only thing that stands between them and their driver's license, right? And statistics say that if a person has not paid those fees and fines in over 2 years, there's a great chance that they will never be paid. And it's not because they don't want to pay them. As we all know, it's because they're poor. And we're having some district attorneys waive the fees and fines that will allow those clients to go on and get their driver's license and try to put their lives back together with regard to being able to drive. And we're having some success in some counties across the state through our Second Chance Alliance affiliation. Next, in the case of restrictions to access to the ballot, felony disenfranchisement is an inherently racist practice established as a tool to suppress African Americans' right to vote. Fair voting policy should immediately extend voting rights to people on probation, parole, or post-release supervision for a felony conviction. That means that a person who has been released from jail or prison, even though they still may be on probation and parole or probation now, that we believe that they should still be eligible to vote. Current law in North Carolina around voting is that you have to have not only been released from prison, but you also have had been completed your probation time as well. So we believe that if a person is working and paying taxes, that they ought to be able to vote. To ensure access to the polls for those at highest risk of disenfranchisement, including individuals who recently had voting rights restored. That just becomes like a transportation issue or getting people to the polls. And end the criminalization of voting with a felony record. Now, if you make a mistake and maybe you didn't know that you were not off probation yet and you voted, you can have that added to your record. That's a crime. And we believe that's unfair. In the case of access to housing, I've heard several people talk about that, and housing is hard. Housing is hard. Housing should be available for North Carolina residents regardless of criminal background. Fair housing policy should, and these are our demands and our requests that we made before the legislative body in May. Fair housing policy should expand housing discrimination protections to people with criminal records, including limited negative consequences for loved ones of individuals with records of conviction. Increasing the housing opportunities for people exiting prison, including those on the including those, and to ensure the availability, of affordable housing generally. In the case of access to employment opportunities, a criminal record should not be a barrier to employment. Fair employment practices should, and before I go further with that, I want to talk about the work that we've been a part of over the last couple of years with Wake County employment practices. And that now in Wake County, if you're applying for a job in Wake County, a county job, the question about your criminal history is not on the first page of the application. It has been removed. We were working along with the county commissioners at that time, Commissioner Jessica Holmes and the sheriff and several others. Obviously, the Second Chance Alliance, in making that a policy now, that the question about your criminal history is not a question on the front page of the application. Now, it does not mean that the question can't be asked and that can't be discussed, but only after you've been qualified to be able to get the job and they want to go into a deeper conversation. We believe that a person should be able to have some face time with an employer, potential employer, and talk about who he is now versus who or she was then. And banning the box is what that's called, ban the box, does not guarantee a job, but as they say in Georgia, it does help to enhance the chance that you would be able to get employment. So that's a big, big deal on our criminal justice reform that we've been able in some counties, not only Wake, to ban the box where people have access to getting a job. So the fair employment practices policies should ensure people have access to necessary ID and documentations upon release from prison, state ID, social security card, birth certificate, and delay or eliminate the inquiry that we just talked about, delay or eliminate the inquiry about criminal backgrounds until after a conditional job offer, except when prohibited by law. So those are just a few of the things that we have outlined before our legislature. Leonardo, if you could go to communitysuccess.org, which is our website, and just let me show a place where people can go, excuse me, to get the link or to see the YouTube clip around our virtual lobby day on May the 18th.
I'm talking, you can't hear me. So I'm at your website. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, am I in the?
Okay, go to home.
Mm-hmm.
And that, and scroll down a bit. Nice. Come on.
No, I think I'm gonna have to stop sharing and find it. So let me do it again.
Okay, all right.
I had it up and I hit X when you called my name.
Hey there.
So give me a second. And Melinda, if you can get it up quicker than I can, you can just pull it over to you. So it completely went away. Okay.
Well, I can talk it through.
I'm here. I'm here. Okay, so I'm scrolling. Okay, so where it says May 18th.
Yes.
Okay.
Just go to success.org for those on the call, on the Zoom, and then just scroll down. You'll see the 2021 virtual lobby day. Yeah, I think that's the end of it there, but that's fine. That's fine. So you can just go there and look for that emblem and look for the virtual lobby day on YouTube. You'll see it. It's about 1 hour and 9 minutes long.
Raleigh, North Carolina. More than 1,000 North Carolinians came to the Capitol to advocate for the Second Chance Act. The landmark bill would make thousands of North Carolinians eligible to expunge their records, automatically expunge not guilty records and dismiss charges, and make certain juvenile records eligible for expungement.
Y'all look beautiful out there. I mean, just so beautiful. When we first started the Second Chance in Life, it was a room of about 8 folks. I was incarcerated with hundreds of brilliant men. And any of them could be here speaking at this podium. The only thing that separated me from them was opportunity.
From 2011 up until 2016, 2017, I was unable to find employment. We should be making the playing field as even as possible for citizens returning home and for those who just made mistakes like I did.
Many individuals can find themselves released from prison, but locked out of work, education, and a place to live. In order to ensure that those with a criminal record have the best opportunity at a second chance, action from the community and government officials are needed.
We're here today to advocate for second chances in our own voice, in our own experiences, because you got your own story. And can't nobody take your story. And can't nobody tell it the way that you do. And today we need you all collectively. We're collectively gonna tell a story to our General Assembly that they got to do something different for the 1.7 million people in this state who got criminal records.
I'm for second chances.
I'm for second chances.
I support second chances.
I am for second chances because I believe that people who have criminal records have a right to their true quality of life.
Helping people move on from criminal justice involvement.
It starts with housing, then we can have employment, then we can get benefits.
Spent 5.5 years in prison, came out and had the good fortune to have a support network around me. But a lot of people were not so fortunate.
What are we for? Second chances. When do we want them? Now. What are we for? Second chances. When do we want them?
Now. We're for second chances. Go to ncsecondchance.org if you are too.
My name is Christy Puckett-Williams, and I'm the statewide campaign for Smart Justice Manager with the ACLU of North Carolina. I am also a proud...
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, thanks. So yeah, so you can find that much more on our site there. That lobby day was actually one for 2019, but the virtual one was the one we just did in 2021. And we didn't do it at all in 2020 because of COVID. And then the second website, you don't have to go to it, Leonardo, is www.ncsecondchance.org, ncsecondchance.org. And that gives you a bunch of information about the Second Chance Alliance, about the laws and stuff that have been passed over the years, and just conceptually about how we're building this piece out. Expungements are going really good. I'll be down in my home county tomorrow, Robeson County, down in Lumberton. We have an expungement clinic that we're partnering with the Campbell Law School, the Campbell Law Clinic. And Ashley Campbell is the director there, and they'll be coming down with her team to Lumberton to assist 46 people, I think, who are pre-registered, who may qualify for the expungement. We'll have the DA there. We'll have judges there who will be signing off on the experience. So, I mean, people will be able to come to the clinic, get their paperwork done with the help of a pro bono lawyer who will be there and from the law clinic, and to be able to go straight down the line there, have the judge sign the expungements, and walk out of that room with their records expunged. So it's very exciting to be able to be a part of that. And then, working with the law clinic on that project as they expand out of Raleigh. Campbell Law School is where I went to law school, but it was in Bowie's Creek then. The law school is much nicer now, and it's in Raleigh, but very excited to be a part of this work. And also serve as the criminal justice chair for the NAACP, and on several committees here with the governor with regard to the statewide reentry work, and kind of connected to this work by obligation, really. I mean, I just had to do it because I know I was fortunate, and there were a lot of people behind me who were not so fortunate. So thank you for the opportunity, Leonardo.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And we'll make sure that we get that link out as well, Second Chance Alliance, as well as Community Success Initiative's website. All right, so we're gonna mosey on. Next, we are going to introduce to you, actually, we're gonna transition to our subcommittee reports, but we're going to also introduce to you, we have two new co-chairs. You all may recall that Kaiser Wilson was the vice chair of the employment subcommittee work group, and that he has transitioned to a new role working in technology. Under his leadership, he helped to identify priority areas to help reduce employment barriers for that work group, the employment subcommittee work group. And so with his transition, we had to recruit, we being Melinda and Donna, had to recruit new leaders to carry this work on. And so we have Miss Dominique Goodman, who is a graduate from North Carolina A&T, pardon me. She's also the communications coordinator for the Center for Third World Organizations. Dominique is also the executive director and founder of Correctional Views. So if you're not familiar with her, go ahead and Google Correctional Views and check out her TED Talk. Working along with Dominique is Mr. Jeff Sakharov. He is so Dominique and Jeff will be co-chairs, but Jeff is, I'm sorry, looking for my notes. He's the director of career services at NC State University's Wilson College of Textile. Jeff has more than 20 years of experience in career coaching. So Melinda and Donna have been already hit the ground working with Jeff and Dominique to carry this work forward. Melinda, you still there? Do you want to add something to this? You have been working directly with Jeff and Dominique, and we'll say that Jeff's not here with us today, but if you wanted to add something, please do so.
Sure. Just we really appreciate them both jumping in. They came to, I think, the first meeting when we found out that Kaiser was going to be leaving, and we put it out there that we were looking for new leadership to the whole group, and they both reached out and were willing to step up, and not just step up, but just jumped right in and really brought in a lot of excitement and new ideas. And so we I think I'll talk for Donna too, since she's not here. We're really excited and happy to help expand and build on their ideas and provide that staff support for it.
Excellent. Thank you, Melinda. All right. So next we have you're going to hear from Dominique shortly, and I made these pretty slides, so I will show them second at least. So now we have our subcommittee report out. So up first, that's going to be Natalie's team, the housing subcommittee, and then we'll hear from Dominique Goodman, and after that, we will hear finally from our supportive services vice chair, Ms. Karen McDaniels. So we're going to hand it over to Natalie, and I believe Diana Powell will be reporting out. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. All right. Diana, you got it.
Great. Thank you. Right. Hi, everyone. Glad to be here. Glad I was able to hang on in here. I thought I was going to have to jump off due to some other obligations. But I want to be real quick. Don't want to take too much of your time. Our housing subcommittee, we had in our last meeting, we definitely talked about building a list for our landlords that who accept Section 8 housing vouchers, sex offenders, and that they were background friendly. And with the help of Betty Corbett, Lakeisha George, I think they did an outstanding job in creating this list. And hopefully we will be able to get this list out to everyone. As you know, with reentry alone, that is one of the largest barriers there is finding people housing, and then not on all, and then also with individuals that have not been impacted and going through evictions, again, that puts them in that system. And so this issue continues to grow, and that means more work for us to do. And so that is something that we are working very diligently on, and hopefully we can get all of that out to you all. Also, we talked about our partnership in building more partnership with Raleigh Wake Partnership to end and prevent homelessness. And I believe that is becoming, is working very well. And so we are excited about that. And basically that's what I have right now. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank
you, Diana.
Go ahead, Natalie.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's okay. That's okay. I would just add to what Diana said. She's correct. We are really building a strong partnership with the Wake Partnership to end and prevent homelessness, and working with their housing navigation unit in partnership with them. Our next steps are to create a script and to begin calling the landlords on this list of landlords that we've developed. We'll be calling them to start building the relationships to see what available units they have and to encourage them, to do the things that they should be doing to support housing for the men and women we work with. But they're going to really help us step through that process so that we can increase the inventory to help our people. So thank you, Diana, for that report.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Any questions for Diana or for Natalie with regards to the housing subcommittee work? All right. Well, we're going to move on and transition to Melinda Todd's team, Melinda and Donna Farrar's team, and that's the employment subcommittee work group. Do we have Ms. Dominique Good?
Yeah, I was going to say it's Dominique and Jeff's team. We're supporting them.
Okay, I'm sorry. You're right. You're right. Is Dominique here, or will you be reporting for the Melinda?
I thought I saw her earlier. Maybe she had to jump off.
Yes, she may have. I don't see her.
Great. Well, we have, and if she is on, please jump in, Dominique. We had some kind of behind the scenes meetings just to get everyone up to speed. And I think that's where some of the great ideas were developed. And then at our last meeting, we really tried to drill in, there are a lot of great ideas and things we want to work toward, but something in particular is thinking about getting those employment fairs going again. I know there was something that the council had done previously it was very popular. They held them at the Career Center. So we're talking about maybe doing something small this fall with just a few employers to get it going again, and then looking to expand into 2022, which hopefully we would do more in person. So that's where we are looking, and they've also been building a list of potential employers that will also work closely with the NC Works team to make sure that, one employer isn't getting 10 different calls. We want to make sure that we have a clear message, and that if there's an employer out there that is interested in working specifically with someone with a record or justice involved, that they know about what we're doing and can participate. So we're really excited in the direction that we've got some smaller goals we're working toward, and then still thinking about that bigger goal of trying to build up a cohort of employers that are really interested in providing opportunities to our clients.
Thank you. Thank you. And just for a point of clarity, I know I said that it's, I referenced the team as Natalie's team, but I'll say that the Wake LRC staff, we are the liaisons. So Natalie would be the liaison for the housing, and Melinda and Donna Farrar, who's not with us today, are the liaisons for the employment subcommittee. And finally, I am your liaison for our supportive services subcommittee. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Melinda, for that as well. So now we're going to transition to our supportive services work group. Vice Chair, Ms. Karen McDaniel, she'll give us an update as well.
Hello, everyone. One of our first priorities with the Supportive Services Committee was to develop a list of 11 medical service providers that offer services or that serve to uninsured individuals and those that with Medicaid insurance. And this list also includes 11 mental health services providers, prescription assistance programs, and resources for medical appointment and transportation. The list will be distributed to our housing providers and to councils next week or soon. And our second priority, we were turning our attention towards strategies to support mentoring and peer support providers and services. And we want to say thanks again to Mr. Eric Johnson, the partner we just spotlighted, and we now have a presence on the Wake network of CARES individuals looking for reentry services on the Wake County electronic site. And our last point is we will, as we continue to build and support services, partnerships, members are actively inviting more of their network. I can't even, okay. We're continuing to invite more people to the network to view their, I'm sorry, I'm reading things that I wrote and it doesn't even match, it doesn't even go with what I'm supposed to be saying. I apologize for that. But as we are continuing to add people to the network, I just wanted to say that inviting people to the group where we can all put our minds and thoughts together is very helpful. I've learned a lot of information, and also I'm a little sick, so please bear with me. I have learned a lot from each and every one of you so far, and didn't know about so many things that that was needed. I am here to reach out to anybody that
I was going to say, Karen, I know when we talked earlier, you shared that members of the supportive services subcommittee members, and specifically talked about Eric again. Eric, you're just a champion around here, inviting members of their network to our supportive services subcommittee. So we really appreciate that, and I think Natalie even mentioned Mr. George Miller from the Lemonade Project. So I think that's what probably you had written to mention that as well. So thank you very much.
Well, I thank you all. Please forgive me. I'm not feeling well, but I wanted to do what I could to participate.
Excellent, excellent. All right. Do we have any questions for employment or the supportive services subcommittee? Actually, any of the three subcommittee. Are there any questions that you have for us? All right, we're going to move on. We got 3 more minutes. So I'll ask you, now's the time for you all to unmute yourselves. This is where you have an opportunity to share your announcements. Let us know what's going on. We want to support your work. This is a collaborative, this is a partnership. So we want to make sure that we have a presence in supporting what you're doing as well. So please, again, to unmute yourselves, if you're on the phone, you want to select *6. All right.
I would like to make one announcement.
Good,
or give some food for thought. One of the things that we are going to begin doing again in August is the mental wellness counseling through our partners at NC State Community Counseling Research and Education Center. We are working out the details, but this is mental wellness counseling at low to no cost for those who participate. They offer it here at the Crosby Garfield Center, 568 East Lenore Street. If you are working with families who are in need of mental wellness counseling, we know that sometimes there are stigmas attached to mental wellness counseling, and we try to, the counselors from NC State, they are a diverse group. They meet people where they are. Again, it's at low to no cost. Pretty much if someone wants to pay something, they can, but they are not required to pay anything. The students actually do the counseling, but they are supervised by those who are already credentialed. So these are doctoral students who are doing the counseling, but they are supervised by the ones who are credentialed. This should start in August. I'll make sure once the dates are set that you have that. But if anybody is interested in learning more about those services, I would be happy to talk to them about getting families connected. And I'll also put the CSERC link that they're currently using, because they're not here yet. They'll start in August, but I will put a link to CSERC in the chat so that people can look at the services that they offer.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Verna. Anyone else? All right, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Next steps. So you guys can see my screen. So you see we have Wake Tech Community College high school equivalency classes. They're getting ready to start. Actually, they've started. And so it's June 19th to the 2nd. As a reminder, we have a monthly expungement seminar. And I also like to add that this seminar, the expungement clinic, we have extended it throughout 2020. So it's on the first Thursday of every month from 11 until 1 o'clock. You got 2 hours. Even service providers sometimes participate just for the information. It's free. All you got to do is register. You guys have the link to the Eventbrite. It's in the calendar invitation. So the next one is next week. Yeah, July 1st. I think July 1st is next week. If not, you guys, it's July 1st. Next month, we will have a subcommittee council meeting. Excuse me, we won't have our subcommittee meetings. We're going to take a break. Most people do travel during the summer, and so we will have our next subcommittee meeting in September. In addition to that, we will begin our Campbell University Reentry Circles. They will start back in August. More information regarding that is forthcoming. And our next council meeting is August 26th. So just for a point of clarity, we won't be meeting next month, no meetings next month. The teams will come together. The next time we all come together, it'll be another council meeting like we have today, and that's August 26th. And then the next subcommittee meeting is in September. So during that break, of course, subcommittee members will be doing the work and we'll be reporting out what's going on in August. Additionally, just want to wrap up. Allison Jordan asked everyone if you're interested in PREA training, please send that inquiry to me. You have my email. Excuse me. That's anyone interested in PREA training. My email's right there. We just mentioned the expungement clinic is July 1st. If you're interested, if you have individuals that should be participating or you think the mindset program would be a good fit for, we'll direct you. Actually, we'll have some information coming out from Berna and Bielka. We'll get that out to you as well. You can also, of course, I'll say within 24 hours, this video will be on our YouTube page, so you can pick that up as well. The Second Chance Alliance, please get involved. Visit that website, as Dennis asked us to do. Burnham just announced that the mental health wellness counseling session is free and no cost, as is the mindset program. So if you're interested in that, we'll get you connected with Verna Best. Thank you all very much. Enjoy your July breaks. We appreciate you. We value your time, and have a good rest of your day.